federal employees, so check this out. So federal employees of the CIA, the NSA, and the NIA were just busted in chat rooms while they were working on taxpayer dollars in explicit chat rooms with adult content discussing all kinds of things that we can't really mention here on TikTok, but you can use your imagination. Adult things and fetishes and anything under the sun. That's what they were doing while working instead of working, pissing away US tax dollars.
What's also not mentioned is that those government employees, those bureaucrats, which are paid by all Americans, regardless of political ideology, they were extremely opinionated at the workplace. In some chats, they were demonizing Tulsi Gabbard for her takes on Syria. Like, the bureaucrats didn't agree with this politician's takes on Syria, and because of that, they didn't wish her well. They said a lot more, but again, due to the terms of service, I can't say it here. And so Tulsi Gabbard has activated, and now consequences are coming, right? The horror of most liberals in the United States is accountability. And so she is preparing a memo directing all intelligence agencies to identify the employees who participated in what she considers to be the obscene, pornographic, and sexually explicit chat rooms, and to determine their employment and revoke their security clearances. The deadline is by Friday. And out of the woodwork, we have the defenders, like the soldiers of justice, coming up, and it's like, this is going to destroy the United States intelligence capabilities, right? So, like, this person has assessed the U.S. intelligence capabilities, noticed the weak points, and apparently, like, these particular individuals that were engaging in what Tulsi Gabbard likes to call obscene, pornographic, and sexually explicit content are pivotal for the well-functioning of the agencies. And Christopher Rufo responds saying that, yes, these fetishists are the backbone of our democracy. They won the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, both of the world wars, and without them organizing gangbangs on the NSA servers, we will cede global hegemony to China. The only thing Z fears is their joy. Don't let them win. Right? No, I mean, obviously, this is the narrative that is being crafted, right? Like, this is what the public has to believe in order to get outrage and demand that Tulsi Gabbard stops her immoral crusade. Now here we have another individual going like, no, you can't do that because then you become as bad as they are. Like, no, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Like, they may support the cancel culture and they may support everything bad that's happening, but don't you dare make a move against people like that. Don't you dare try to push your own morality, because then you become just like them. And here you have an example saying that this is cancel culture stuff. The chats are bad, but you should put out a memo saying that this kind of stuff can't be on company time, not fire for past offenses. Oh, goodness gracious. A lot of people were also asking me, it's like, well, what do you think, right? Because in the past, I supported, and I still support fan service, right? I like anime girls with big fat tits, with massive thighs, right? So, like, people are curious what I think about this situation. And I can only judge it from my Eastern European perspective of the generation that I grew up in, which is to support maximum privacy at home and maximum scrutiny in the public. Now, if you want to discuss about fetishes and adult stuff with other adults while having a beer at the pub, while being at home and playing on your Xbox Live with other grown-ups, or while being on a Discord server with other adults, go for it, right? Like, I'm actually in support of that. I don't think it's a problem with adults discussing adult stuff in private. But when you're in public, motherfucker, come on. Like, you're at the workplace, you're paid to work. You're not paid to discuss about your sex life. You're not paid to discuss about what stuff you're into. You're at the workplace. And this whole nonsense, it's like, well, they didn't know. They were like innocent children. How could they possibly know that talking about these things at the workplace would get them in trouble? Like, you should tell them. You should, teach NSA employees not to talk about degenerate stuff while at the workplace. Dude, it's called common fucking sense. And don't give me the bullshit that they didn't know, because the liberals know very well. Didn't they harass Donald Trump for more than 4 years over the grab her by the pussy joke? Which, by the way, that was a thing he actually did say in private. Like, he actually did say grab her by the pussy in private. It was locker room talk, and he was recorded, right, without his knowledge. But he didn't say that in the Oval Office. He didn't say that while being in public, right? Like he said it in a private place. And they gave him shit for that. Do you know how many kids got in trouble in the United Kingdom, even in the United States, because they were at school and they decided to go on social media and rate some girls? And it was, oh, like, this girl is a 7, no, this is an 8, this is a 9. And immediately the women are like, oh my goodness, that's so dehumanizing. Oh, I've been reduced to an animal. It's like I'm an animal because they're talking about me. And so, okay, right? Like all the liberals were, okay, no, those kids, they gotta be sacked from the school. They gotta be pushed away from society. There is no redeeming that shit. Like, that is the most vile stuff ever. Like, they have failed as human beings. Like, massive outrage, right? Like, if they would have gone and they would have robbed the store, they would have probably got a sentence. Like, probably have to pay a fine, probably have to go to jail. But once they got out of jail, they would have been pillars of the community, right? Rehabilitated citizens. But because they went online and they rated some women, well, that's beyond the pale. That's even worse than robbing stores. I mean, they could have robbed all the stores in the entire nation, and it still wouldn't have been as bad as what they did. So, like, liberal morality was very clear about certain things and certain limits, which, in my opinion, they are even more restricted than I have, right? Because if they go at home at a pub and they talk about, she's a 7, she's an 8, women do that as well, right? Why don't you think, like, women also rate Hollywood actors or rate celebrities? Or, of course they do. Who fucking cares, right? But my point is that they do have a morality. They did apply it in the past, but for some reason the morality ceases to function now, like a car that all of a sudden runs out of gas. And this is why I don't believe that what they're saying comes from like a true level of conviction and principles. Because that's the thing, you know, like if you're a liberal and you actually do have principles, well, now they could be used to save you, because you'd be like, well, look, in the past I already been tolerated with this stuff. Why can't you guys reciprocate when it's on me, right? So you're making an argument of fairness. But you haven't been fair, have you? No, like, if this would happen to conservatives, like, I'm pretty sure it would have been the front news of every single mainstream outlet. But because this is happening to a couple of NSA agents, you can notice that people aren't as outraged. I do find it hilarious that finally someone is listening into the NSA, right? Because it's supposed to be the other way around. Like, it's supposed to be the NSA spying on the average person. But now, because someone spied on the NSA, well, again, it's a crime against nature. Like, this isn't how the way things should work. Like, this is not normal for a healthy society to have people listening in on the NSA. No. Like, so there's that little bit of irony. Again, even in the most liberal and permissible societies that I know, doing this type of conversation, having these types of conversation at the workplace is not allowed. Usually, it can be an exception, like if your boss allows you, right? Like, let's say you're working at a gaming company, and the owner of the company says, yeah, you can talk about whatever the fuck you want, like, feel free, just, make the game. You can even get drunk at the office if you want. You can do whatever. You know, like, there are a couple of places where you have that type of attitude. Okay, well, in that situation, that's different. But in this situation, it's not. No. Like, especially when you're working for the government. Like, come on. It's called common sense. I don't think that these people didn't know. They did know. They just thought that their conversations are never going to be leaked. Well, they did got leaked, and apparently the person they were complaining is now filing a memo against them. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.